Council of the City of Norfolk will now commence. Mr. Roberts, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, member of City Council. I'll provide a brief overview of the agenda, but if I may first, I'd like to introduce a new staff member that's come on board just this week. Charles Meek, would you stand up, please? This week, we have a new budget and strategic planning department director starting with us. Charles Meek has been in local government for now more than 2 decades. In positions of increasing responsibility, primarily in budget and finance. He's worked for a number of years with the City of Suffolk, spent some time as assistant to the county administrator in Isle of Wight County, and worked for the town of Shenandoah a number of years ago. Charles has his bachelor's degree from Bridgewater College and also his Master of Public Administration from James Madison University. Charles is a Norfolk kid, grew up in the city of Norfolk, graduating from Lake Taylor High School, so he's glad to be home. Please join me in welcoming Charles.
Wow.
Another time. Take the opportunity. Thank you. Pamela has served as, Pamela Marino has served as acting director for a number of months. Pamela, if you don't mind standing up, just want to thank you for your work. And we know we're getting the budget across the finish line tonight, so thank you for your work on that. So, also, I'm going to get that. I thought I would slide that through. Anyway, that's right. Got to be optimistic, so thank you for that. Back to the agenda, and I'll make another staff remark on that too. So the first presentation, Mayor, Council members, is the Recreation and Wellness Update for upcoming summer of 2025, and that's going to be presented by Daryl Crittenden, Director of Parks and Recreation. While I'm on staff announcements, I made you all aware several days ago that Daryl announced his pending retirement from the City of Norfolk, so we congratulate Daryl on almost 2 decades with the City of Norfolk and a great career of service here, so thank you, Daryl.
Thank you.
Lastly, before Daryl takes the podium, his presentations will be followed by the planning update, which will be presented by Bobby Tahan. Bobby can't leave. He's not going anywhere. Bob, I need Bobby. Keep your seat, Bobby, until I call on you. And we do have a couple items for consideration for closed session motion. So without objection or amendment, I'd like for Daryl Crittenden to begin the presentation.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, Mr. Manager, DCMs. Thank you for having me. Want to talk about this summer. Parks and Recreation is geared, ready to roll with 2025 summer events and activities. So I want to talk to you about the wellness of our programs and provide you with an update on what we're trying to provide our citizens and to this great city of Norfolk. Our pool schedule, I want to start off with that, and I won't read it to you. If you look at your presentation, you have the pools listed: Huntersville, Southside Aquatic Center, Northside, and the Chesterfield Outdoor Pool. All pools have standard schedules: Huntersville, Southside Aquatic Center, and Northside. Chesterfield Pool usually opens, that's an outdoor pool, opens the 3rd weekend in June. And I do want to send a shout out to Nikki Riddick and General Services. They're working hand in hand with us, and we've completely renovated the Chesterfield Pool. When citizens go out this year, they'll see new pool deck, new bathroom, pool furniture, the whole 9 yards. It will not look like the same pool it used to look like. One special note, May 19th through 24th, the Northside Pool will close for a week, and the reason why is that the ADA ramp needs to be refurbished. It is extremely slippery. It's become a slip hazard, so it will take a week to repair that, but the pool will reopen back on May 24th. It'll only take a week, and we're asking our patrons at Northside to utilize the Southside Aquatic Center and Huntersville during that week of repair of that ADA ramp. Next up is our summer beach schedule. Community Beach, Ocean View Beach, and I'm very proud to say that Ocean View Beach will be staffed. It'll be the first time it's been staffed since 2019. So we're very pleased with that. Sarah Constant, as the summer goes on and we get more and more lifeguard applicants, it is our hope that we'll have Sarah Constant open later this summer and it'll be fully staffed. But 2 fully staffed beaches is a plus for us since 2019. So very pleased with that. You can see the operating hours for the beaches as well. Water fitness classes, this is just a sample of what we're offering as far as aquatics instructional classes. Huntersville has shallow water. We are definitely certifying our staff at Huntersville for deep water aerobic certifications and water safety instruction certification. We have shallow water at Southside. Again, the same staff, they rotate to teach these classes. Northside, we have one deep water offering and the rest are shallow water aerobics and fitness classes in the pools. Our summer recreation schedule, you'll see a standard 8 to 8:30 on most days, 8 to 6:30 on Fridays, and then we have Saturday hours. You'll notice the green square, we don't have Saturday hours at these centers, but these are our camp hours. And Ingleside's a little different. The reason why is because we have two different camps going on at Ingleside. What you see in this column for Ingleside are the standard recreation hours, but there's also another camp going on from 8:30 to 5 at Ingleside as well. So it's a blend of activities, double the pleasure, double amount of fun, and that's what's happening at Ingleside. Let me go back because this is very key. I know this was in the city manager's gray report. I don't know if everybody noticed it, but our centers are usually closed 1 week prior to summer camp, 1 week after summer camp. And the reason why, that's our in-service training. Our staff learn first aid certification, food handling. They have an open house, customer service. It's the whole 9 yards. Our staff have to be prepared to greet the public and also be able to handle any situation that may arise during summer camp. So that's something we've always done. We want our staff trained up. The other part of that is general services comes in, does a deep cleaning of all of our facilities before summer camp starts and when after school begins to start as well. Camp schedule. We have the most affordable camps in the region. Just a special note, our camp sold out within 15 minutes of registration. Our 6 to 12-year-old camp, that's called Norfolk Explorers Camp, 8-week camp. It's for ages 5 through 12, $150 for 8 weeks. Our teen camp, Norfolk Navigators, for youth age 13 through 16, $50 a week, and that's an 8-week program as well. And these were specialty camps. If you notice, Ingleside has a specialty camp going on that's from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's why you saw the staggered hours on the other sheet. But we have summer break cultural camps, which is visual arts and crafts. We have summer break camps, which are cultural arts camps, which are dance, music, and performing arts. So we try to cover all gamuts of parks and recreation in all of our camps. Now we go to our special event offerings. Nighthawks will be back this summer. It'll start June 13th. And centers that'll be hosting Nighthawks will be Berkeley, Norview, and Lamberts Point. We also have our skate park event. And I want to tell you, skate park, this event has grown from probably 200 skaters over the last 4 to 5 years to almost 500. All ages, all skill sets. And we have vendors and sponsors that help us with this event. So June 21st, that's a wonderful event. And some of our highlighted special events, 5 Points Park. This will be our second summer of offering special events.
You included me this time?
I've always included you, Ms. Johnson.
It's a joke.
Oh. Okay. Well, starting May 23rd, we'll have the Motown Mingle. Last year, this event was huge. We did it the first time. We had over 150 participants, but it was freezing cold, like 40 degrees. We're hoping for great weather this year. We got the TFC band, and if anybody gets a chance to look them up, man, that band rocks, so it's going to be really good. We got the One Love Festival that's happening in June. That's a tribute to Bob Marley. We have a family fun day. Paws and Popsicles. Bring your dog to the park and enjoy popsicles while you have fun with your pet. And that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're offering 2 movie events. And this will be movie nights at the park. And it'll be family geared event. And we're looking forward to hosting that. And then in the fall, we'll have a farmer's market at 5 Points as well. So we've added at least 4 new events this summer. We'll continue to grow. We're looking for people to come out and enjoy these festivities, good food, good fellowship, and it's worth coming out. Our park rangers, very pleased with that unit, and a lot of people want to know how the park rangers got started. When I was in Newport News, and I won't say what I said last time at a council meeting because I don't know if it was Councilman Smeagol who corrected me when I said they have the best park ranger unit in the state. Norfolk has the best park ranger unit in the state. So I won't let that slip again. But I learned a lot from that park ranger unit, and I knew one of my goals when I was here was to establish park rangers in this city. And I got to say that has been something very positive. Very proud of the park ranger unit. And their outdoor adventure programming and exploratory programming is second to none. And these are some of the programs that they offer citywide at a lot of our venues. And they even have programming, which I just clicked, that's geared specifically towards Lambert's Point open space. 17 events that are geared towards the Lambert's Point open space. And let's see. Norfolk Athletics, we have a bunch of clinics and camps happening in the summer. We have the Mayor's Cup track and field event, which is citywide track and field event for all youth in the city. And the mayor comes out and he presents a cup, and that's why it's called the Mayor's Invitational Cup track and field. That's something you have to ask the mayor about.
What happened was. Only every 4 years. Just did.
Everybody knows across the nation, pickleball is just blowing up. We have adult pickleball tournaments throughout the city now through June and July. Our Nike RBI baseball, softball program, we field close to 25 youth teams. So that's all that's happening during the summer. And again, sports camps. What's big now for a lot of football athletes is 7-on-7, and we're offering that through flag football. A lot of municipalities have trended towards flag football. The reason why, because of concussions, liabilities. I'm an old high school football coach. I can't get tackled out of my system, but this is the trend now, flag football, and it helps a lot of the skilled positions with wide receiver, running backs to learn the skills on the field during the summer with flags. If you can avoid somebody trying to grab a flag, you can avoid a tackle because there's a lot more movement with trying to avoid somebody pulling your flag. We have boys and girls summer camps. We have youth summer tennis camps, boys and girls lacrosse camps, basketball camps. And something that I'm pleased about is we have a collaboration with the Norfolk Police Department, boxing and badges, where the police department is now coming into the boxing gym to work out with the kids and just mentor and tutor them. So I'm very, very pleased with that collaboration. And speaking of boxing, these are some of the program offerings that we have this summer for the Boxing Center. We have a Warrior Fit program, beginning boxing, Olympic-style boxing, and special events. Right now, in the boxing program for Team Norfolk, we have 3 potential Olympians, which I'm very pleased because if you know our head coach, Tyler Trask, he was the assistant coach to Gloria Peak. Gloria Peak was the first African-American woman to be selected for the Olympic team to coach, and very pleased with that effort. And Tyler has continued to follow in those footsteps. Okay. Therapeutic recreation. Our therapeutic center usually hosts about 85 participants on an annual basis, those 85 participants come to our summer programs. And as you can see, there's a plethora of programming that's illustrated up here that our youth, adults, and those that have special needs participate in during the summer. And a lot of these programs carry over throughout the year. So very pleased with Therapeutic Recreation. I call them the little engine that can, because there's nothing that our TR program can't do. They have a lot of collaboration with other cities. This past summer, there was a huge beach event that had Chesapeake, cities from the peninsula, Suffolk, all came in to participate for a day at the beach, and all had TR programs. I thought that was a great event. Our Norfolk Emerging Leaders Program, last year we hired 16 executive interns. This year we have 20, and we have, oh, did I miss that? There we go. All right, this year we have 140 NEL students that'll be hired. This year we're hiring 140 again, but we've increased the number of executive interns to 20. And to give everybody an idea of when our application period starts, our program dates, that's sort of the idea and the schedule of how this program operates and runs. Are there any questions for me?
Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Councilman
I'm
Johnson?
good, thank you. My statement to you was, because the last meeting, everybody was giving updates, Norview was left out, so,
Oh.
yeah, Festivus
The
was.
slide was missing.
Yeah, the slide was missing.
Oh.
Okay, laugh. For the registration for your camps, because it really fills up so very fast, for consideration, in-person registration as well? Do you have the in-person registration for the camps? I know a lot of it is online.
The problem we had with in-person, when I first got here back in 2006, we'd have people camping out at centers at 3 in the morning. And they would stay in line. We'd have to have security come in because there would be fights that would break out. So that's why we went to the virtual registration. I think something that we could probably look at in the future, and I had talked to Councilman Clanton and DC and Pope about this, is those schools that are vacant in the summer that don't have recreational amenities or summer camps should be looked at as maybe summer camps that could operate during the summer, because that would actually help ease the waiting list and also provide recreational amenities to those that don't have facilities or amenities in their communities.
Yeah, because it does fill up really fast,
Mm-hmm.
and you only have it one day.
Yes, it feels like
And
that day.
for a particular timeline, what's the timeline that one day?
It's supposed to be all day, but in 15 minutes it was completed.
So if we could work on the registration for the camps, that would be great. Also for consideration, for some of the parents, priority to the parents who participate in the recreation centers year-round. Because you have some dedicated parents, they love parks and recreation, and some of them are being left out of the camps, and they feel as though they've been your diehard supporter for a number of years, as well as anything that you need, so maybe we could consider them as well.
Understood.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time at Norview.
I didn't see anything at Captain's Quarters this summer, and I know you guys have normally had something there. Martin, I know that's your award, but
We didn't advertise it, but we still have kayaking classes, and during the summer camps, that's where we do our kayaking for our summer campers at Captain's Quarters. It used to be a seasonal operation. It's not a seasonal operation anymore, but we still utilize the facility. I mean, not the facility, but the amenity.
and I know your presentation doesn't have senior activities in it. I'm sure we can get an update with that, but the East Ocean Theater Community and Senior Center, I know there's some summer activities, and then what's going on with Bob Batcher, Prime Plus over at Titus Town. So
Great, thank you again, and for updating me on the all the different opportunities that are present there. We did talk about the summer camp. That was one of my questions, Councilwoman Johnson, about them filling up so fast, and so definitely through the MOU and finding out ways that we can keep those schools, those gymnasiums open. The second one I had a question, and I wasn't mentioning seeing the boxing. Was kind of triggered me on this one. And I don't know, Mr. Manager, if this is something later, but the status of the 35th Street Boxing Center there, maybe we get a report on that one sometime later. I'm just not clear as a new council member what that is. And then the third item I had, when you mentioned, I had a constituent some time ago that reached out to me about therapeutic recreation. So therapeutic recreation in the city, where do we conduct that? Is that only, how many locations is that available?
There's only one. There's a therapeutic recreation center, and that's on Evans Street, right near Mary Calcutt School. And I want to say probably around 2010, we expanded that facility, so we're able to actually provide programming for 85 patrons. We still have a waiting list, and that need continues to grow.
So I guess my follow-up question to that one is, as we're looking at the new recreation centers, Newport and others, is there a consideration about offering more therapeutic recreation opportunities in those new sites?
I don't want to speak for what's going to happen in the future, but I mean, there are opportunities. If there are TR staff placed in our existing centers, there's an opportunity to mainstream those events and activities into our regular programming centers, all 18 of them.
Smigiel, did Mr.
I just quick add, and it's probably more of a Trista thing since Daryl's leaving. So we'll always have a problem finding lifeguards, although we've done a great job with the pay and you guys in recruiting, and I've got quite a few students I know that are doing it. But I was talking to just some citizens, and we were just chatting, and I came up with this idea to do a preteen lifeguard camp. So while we have lifeguards out in the beaches in the summer, that we do some activities to train some preteens, like a camp, on lifeguard skills, and even do some competition to kind of maybe down the road, it's almost like a recruitment tool. They can get a certificate at the end of it that says that you participated in the preteen. And that way, when they do come of age and they can't to be a lifeguard, they've already got some skills and have built relationships with our staff, and maybe have a pipeline, for that. And if you want to go younger, you probably, we could eventually develop it younger. I'm not trying to throw more programming, but I'm just looking more for an HR standpoint in the future, that developing, future interests. And I'm sure that you could do some recruitment at middle schools with that. It doesn't have to be an all-summer camp. It could be a week-long camp, and just learn those lifeguard skills.
And that's sort of like what we do for the nail program. We actually groom the scholars while they're in school, to prepare them for when they go out to college or get jobs, to come back to us, and we hire them within the city. So
You can look at shadowing, if you have to talk to legal about liability, but maybe they could shadow some lifeguards,
I think, Councilman Smigiel, those youth that actually work as rec aides or pool aides during the summer have, I would say, a great opportunity to learn lifeguarding skills. They're around the pool, they're around the lifeguards. That is a wonderful opportunity to get your foot in the door. The next thing is getting certified. We offer free certification classes and clinics, so we encourage all youth that want to be lifeguards, sign up for one of our certification classes and become a certified lifeguard. Anywhere from $20 to $25 an hour.
Mr. Page?
First of all, Mr. Crittenden, thank you for your years of service.
Thank you, sir.
Now you're about to move on, get you a little bit of rest, and maybe a couple of things on the side. I just want to make sure. And like Mr. Spiegel, this may go to DC and Pope. Make sure that football next year will be played at Lakewood Park. That we will have football games at Lakewood Park. I know this is for the summer, but you won't be around to give us a fall update. So It's very important. We've lost a lot of things throughout the COVID in our communities. We don't have as much going on with rec football as MOUs now, and those that continue to do it. And we have a great need for our youth to be busy. And what I'm finding out, so many programs that just don't reach us. And like Councilwoman Johnson stated, it fills up so quick when we have these camps at these inexpensive rates. So please, in the time that you have left, work to make sure that we're considering our marginalized communities and the ultimate outcome that happens when our youth don't have enough to keep them busy. All right, and Lakewood Park, please. Lakewood Park. Ms. Pope.
Yes, sir, we will take all of this under consideration and see what we can do to make it happen.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, Darrell, thank you. What is your last day?
My last day in the office is May 30th.
I think your resignation letter got lost in the mail. I've been looking for it.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
All right, Darrell, I think, again, on behalf of all of us and hundreds of patrons, which are citizens and residents of Norfolk, and all who's come through your facilities and open space and programming, very grateful, and best wishes to you and to your family.
Thank you, sir. Enjoyed my close to 19 years here. Very proud member of Team Norfolk, and I wish the city of Norfolk, this administration, the best always.
All right.
A planning update from Mr. Tahan.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of City Council, I have 3 items to update you on for the planning update that come from the Planning Commission and from their April Planning Commission public hearing. One item is a proposed zoning text amendment, one is a rezoning, and another one is a short-term rental that has opposition. The first item is a proposal by the City Planning Commission for a zoning text amendment to amend the zoning ordinance to allow the use of tattoo parlors at artisanal production and electric vehicle charging stations by right in applicable districts and to create performance standards or zoning regulations for them. This proposal comes from the October Planning Commission retreat, where 9 items or 9 uses were proposed to the Planning Commission to help streamline processes and to add uses where appropriate to align with best practices. From those 9 uses, it was recommended by the Planning Commission to whittle it down to these 3 proposed. First one starting with tattoo parlors, which is an establishment in which it's offered to practice the placing of designs, letters, scrolls, figures, symbols, or any other marks under the skin. These are allowed to be by conditional use permit in the commercial zoning districts, as well as the downtown district, except for downtown St. Paul's, and the PCO, light industrial and PCO 21st and Colley Avenue pedestrian commercial overlay districts. Similar uses that are permitted by right within the city are within licensed physicians' offices and licensed beauty salons that provide cosmetic tattooing and permanent makeup. So it is a similar application process, but this subset is permitted by right in locations of licensed physicians as well as licensed beauty salons. Since 2020, 8 applications for tattoo parlors have been requested. 8 have been recommended for approval by the Planning Commission, and 8 have been approved by City Council. On the right side here, you see a map showing the zoning districts for the community and regional commercial districts, the pedestrian commercial overlays, which are in green, and the light industrial districts that are located in blue. These are the locations that they could be permitted by right, but are currently permitted to be allowed by conditional use permit. Excluded in this are the downtown zoning districts, which are also allowed, except for the downtown St. Paul's district, to be allowed by conditional use permit.
Bobby, could I ask a quick question? I have this slide up. So of these 8 applications since 2020, how many of those had opposition from the community? Do we have that
I
data?
do not have that information.
Can we track that down before we
Yes,
vote?
sir.
Thank you.
Hardly any.
We're not voting on this tonight, right, Bobby?
No, no. This has not yet been scheduled for a date.
I know the ones that opened up in Ocean View, there was no opposition to it.
Got it.
And I don't recall, since we've opened it up more, that there was ruling the opposition.
The proposal that's being recommended by the Planning Commission includes allowing it by right in the community commercial and regional commercial zoning district, light industrial, and the pedestrian commercial overlay districts of 21st Street, Colley Avenue, and Riverview. It will remain a conditional use permit in the applicable downtown zoning districts. And letters of support for this proposed change were provided by the Ghent Business Association, Riverview Business Association, and the Downtown Norfolk Council. However, there was a letter of opposition specifically from on the downtown uses from the Downtown Norfolk Civic League. The next item is electric vehicle charging stations. I apologize for the typo at the top. This is a principal use for charging stations that are open to the public. Currently, right now, if a location provides less than 4 charging stations or less, and they're not open to the public, they're not considered this use, which currently requires a conditional use permit. In some zoning districts or some of our larger districts, they are permitted by right. So it is the business and commerce parks, the industrial, institutional campus, airport, and Monarch Way districts. Conditional use permit is required for locations in the community commercial, regional commercial, which are the majority of our commercial zoning districts, light industrial, and general industrial, which again are our majority of industrial zoning districts. This proposed use does align with the city's environmental and sustainability initiatives. The proposal from the Planning Commission is to provide 2 different types of uses. One is as a principal use to be by right in those zoning districts and to provide performance standards that requires where they're located. This does not change the need for a conditional use permit for a convenience store or a fueling station, which have different impacts. Most of the time, if we do see these as a principal use, they may be in conjunction with another use, which you may end up seeing this anyway. But if anyone was proposing to do a principal use of a charging station only, it could be permitted by right. One that was considered by the City Council was the one that was proposed by IKEA most recently, which is currently under construction, which led to this thought of not requiring a conditional use permit for this proposed use. The second use is as an accessory use. Again, to be permitted by right, so there's an existing use that operates on the site, and they want to take some of their existing parking spaces to be allowed to be utilized as electric vehicle charging station spots. It does limit it to the number of charging stations to no more than 35% of the required parking. So if they have a parking minimum standard, they cannot use more than 35% of their spaces for it. And it has the same performance standards for location and distances as for the principal use. The last proposal is for artisanal production, which is the on-site production and sale of hand-fabricated objects, hand-manufactured parts, or custom craft consumer goods using hand tools or small-scale or light merchant equipment. So this is a small-scale, usually what ends up relating to a small business that's creating and hand-fabricating things. This is permitted currently in the downtown zoning districts, except for the downtown St. Paul's district. This was added during the time when we were trying to find additional uses during COVID to help spur on additional retail uses in the downtown district. Examples of this proposed use are similar to apparel manufacturing, cabinetry, small-scale food production, furniture making, and similar small-scale uses like this. One of the key components of this is that it cannot be larger than 15,000 square feet, which ends up being a large-scale industrial use. The proposal is to allow this by right within the community commercial, regional commercial, and the 21st Street and Colley Avenue PCO districts. And this aligns with some of the uses that we have been allowing in those districts. Again, jewelry makers, small handcrafted things to allow for kind of what the current trend is in retail as we continue to move forward. For all 3 text amendments, the City Planning Commission recommends approval by a 5-to-1 vote. One planning commissioner did note that they felt that there was an additional public outreach needed for the amendment, specifically regarding the tattoo parlors.
Yes. Ms. Doyle.
So I agree with the uses of the EV and artisanal. I think I'd like to see the tattoo not be coupled with this and have it still be in the same process of the CUP. I know we haven't had many applications for that and they've all gone through. But I think it's important for people like ourselves to be able to vote on it based on the geography it's located from where they're applying. And again, I don't even know who the commissioner was that said it needs more socialization, but that's absolutely the case as well. So I've talked about this with Councilman McGee as well, and it's been fine, people have gone through the process, they've gone through and it's been great. And we have one actually right now that's applying to be an appointment-only tattoo where the old New Leaf used to be in the Chelsea Business District.
Yes.
So that would be my recommendation for now, is that we just keep tattoos as is.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Ms.
Director Tahan, going back to the commercial, use within, so many of our neighborhoods are different. So when you say commercial use, what does that look like for, Super Ward 7? As it relates to commercial use and giving up the power that, well, consideration for a CUP as it relates to Super Ward 7.
For particulars for the tattoo parlors in
For the
particular?
tattoo. Yes, sir.
I don't have, it's separated by wards, Ms. Johnson. But these locations here, most of the locations that you'll see, which are on smaller lots, zone commercial, that are near residential neighborhoods are not included in this. However, the majority of the regular commercial zoning districts, which would be this area in red, along Military Highway, East Little Creek Road, are potential locations. Those are our community commercial as well as our regional commercial zoning districts.
So I would agree that as far as the tattoo CUP, that we leave it as is and that it not be a part of the other two proposals. Thank you.
Mr. Todd.
Thank you, sir. The next item is a rezoning for the Blue Greenway at Kindred. Again, the location is at the southwest corner of Tidewater Drive and Brambleton Avenue. Current existing conditions are vacant, and this is a rezoning from multifamily neighborhood scale and institutional to open space preservation. This rezoning aligns with the requirements of the National Park Service, which require the Blue Greenway to remain as a site for public outdoor recreation. So zoning it to open space helps to meet those requirements. The amenities that are associated with the open space have been reviewed through the design review process through the Planning Commission. However, this rezoning is necessary, again, in order, and I apologize for the top line. The rezoning is necessary for to meet the grant requirements. By a vote of 6-0, the Planning Commission recommends approval. The proposed use is consistent with the St. Paul's Transformation Plan and a green infrastructure plan for the city of Norfolk. Last item is by Solaris LLC, which is a conditional use permit for a short-term rental located at 810 West Ocean View Avenue, Units A and B. This is an existing duplex on a property that has multiple units on it, and they are requesting a short-term rental, vacation rental at the site. Located here in the red box, which is the duplex located at the rear of the property. You can see here that there's multifamily residences that are located in front of it and a parking lot. The short-term rental, vacation rental request is only for the duplex at the rear of the property. Here's a site photo. Again, you can see the driveway entrance here, as well as the duplex as the building furthest in the back. The City Planning Commission does recommend approval by a 5-1 vote. There is a 2-year expiration that is proposed as a condition, and it only applies to the rear duplex, not the multifamily building at the front of the property. There were letters of opposition received from the Willoughby Civic League and 3 citizens, which were adjacent property owners. It is to note the applicant did first come in requesting all of the property to be short-term rentals. They removed the multifamily building from their request and is only requesting the duplex at the rear of the property. With that, the Willoughby Civic League did not change their recommendation of opposition.
Well, Mr.
Yes.
You've actually teed it up nicely for us by mistake. Where are we socializing the accessory dwelling unit conversation?
We finished the handout. We're working with communication right now, and then we'll get it to neighborhoods to send out. We'll provide that information to the civic leagues, and then be available to meet with any of them to discuss the requirements.
Since we've talked about it, I've had now people come up to me and say, I'd like to learn more about this, or is this gonna happen next to my property in my neighborhood? I can't give them an answer on that quite yet, so the buzz is already out there, so I think we really need to do a good job of figuring this out.
Yes, ma'am. We'll make sure to provide the handout first to the city council for your information, and then we will share it.
Ms. Johnson and Mr. Spiegel.
So, as Councilwoman Doyle was saying, you mentioned that you're gonna get the information out to the civic leagues. So the civic leagues have to invite your department, or are you going to have various workshops throughout the city where citizens can pick and choose to find out about it?
We currently we're proposing to do it by request from the civic leagues, only because we did not want to conflict with the new commission that's been appointed by the mayor, dealing with the housing. However, at the will of the council, we can do a public meetings as well for the solely if necessary.
Ms. Doyle?
Sure, you don't want to go first? Back to tattoos, maybe I missed it. Where did the proposal come from?
It was through the planning commission retreat. There was an attempt to streamline uses that haven't had few opposition and abuse.
We went through this years ago, and I think the stigma of having a tattoo parlor in a area has changed a little bit, and I think that's why we allow them to happen. I can see some communities not wanting them. I'm sure if we ask people in this room, I don't have a tattoo, I don't ever want to get a tattoo, but there are probably half of the people in this room have a tattoo on them somewhere. So, I just want to be careful that we're not restricting it too much. It is something that tourists sometimes like to do, particularly if there's a theme type tattoo associated with the city, mermaids. So I'm just, I think it needs to be probably worked a little bit more. I want to say the Ocean View ones, we've kind of limited because you can only have them in certain areas. So we only have one on one end and one on the other end, and I think we kind of had an agreement that if somebody wanted to go in next door to another tattoo parlor, if that was allowed, we weren't going to allow that. We were going to kind of space them out. If I'm recalling the conversations from many years ago. I don't know. You weren't here. Were you here?
There's no regulation not allowing them to ask. So yes.
It's more of like a council agreement that we weren't going to let them, pop up in multiple in one area. And then Martin and Jeremy with the Willoughby short-term rental. Did the Willoughby Civic League state why they opposed this one specifically versus just we don't want short-term rentals in Willoughby? Because that's what's on social media. When you read social media, it's we have so many short-term rentals in Willoughby. So I'm trying to gather, is it just we don't want short-term rentals, or is we don't like this particular one? Because it's where it's located, did they say?
Yeah, I mean, this particular development did a ton of dune damage that they were not very happy about, and the city has had to since go after them to get them to work to correct that. So they started off on a really bad foot, and then this particular location they're not happy about either. So it's not just that they're against it. Yeah.
Do they know that the new district that's collecting money towards emergency SAM replenishment? I don't know if we want to tell them right now because of the sand issue in Willoughby, but do they know that we're going to start collecting revenue off of this?
They do. I mean, as a reminder, Willoughby still approves over 90% of the short-term rentals that come to that neighborhood, and they do analyze. They absolutely do, and we can ask planning for those numbers.
Yeah,
they approve the bulk of the
They approve them, or we?
They do. So Willoughby takes these very seriously. They have a public vote at their civic leagues for every single one of these, and they send the information to planning for each one of them. And over 90% they approve. They listen, they ask all the questions, they have a standard form that every application fills out. They have a whole committee that reviews them and makes recommendations. I mean, they do a very good job. They're not just against short-term rentals. They vote in favor of most of them.
For the ones that come before us, though, we've denied all of them. Okay.
No, I'm close.
So back to the tattoo parlors, I feel like right now they go through the CUP process, so there's no harm in keeping that unchanged
Right.
for now. And you know what, there's a tattoo parlor within 4 blocks of my house, I could walk and get one tonight if I wanted to, and I seriously could, if we get out early enough. So, if we vote on the budget fast enough, that's up to you, Tommy, so that's where I feel there, and then back to the ADUs. Do you think we put the cart in front of the horse with the housing commission now coming up? And is the ADU, should that be part of the housing commission? I'm not trying to stop ADUs or to derail it or to, that's not my intent, I'm just thinking, are we logically thinking about this in the right order? Just putting it out there.
We'll let the manager decide how he wants to proceed with that, bring us a recommendation.
We'll take that into consideration.
And again, I'm not trying to stop the conversation, we need to socialize it, but I also wouldn't wanna socialize it. Housing then comes out with something different in 6 to 8 months or 10 months, and then we're like, oh, well, sorry.
All right, Mr. Page.
This was motivated by tattoo parlors potentially being saturated in the same area. One of the concerns, and I don't know if I addressed this with you or the city manager or Mr. Pisco, maybe we all can come together and collaborate. We have new businesses that we court to bring to the city, and then a couple of months, a couple of years later, the same style of business, competitors, are able to move right up the street. I have 2 car washes right in the same vicinity on Military Highway. Another business that seems to be saturated in that area is the beauty and healthcare places. And we have one that's coming up because it was a retail space where they didn't have to come through us to set it up. And now this one is going to saturate the market right across from Janov. We have a huge one that just moved from a smaller location to help us to take on a larger place. And I want to know, what's our recourse? How do we get to go to these businesses or find out where they have to come to us and apply if there's a certain amount of businesses in that vicinity? We have to continue to be friends to the business community. We can't just get them here and leave them on their own and create competitors of opportunities for competitors to come up against them. What would we need to do to take action, particularly if it's a location that didn't seek permits to do the build-out inside? I know if this was in another area of the city, or if it was a type of business, we would all be ready to go down there and potentially close them down. But this one is being kept a little quiet. I want to know what we could do to prevent the saturation of the same businesses in the same area. We can kind of help spread things out the same way we want to deconcentrate poverty. Like, how can we begin to spread some things out and around here?
The one known tool is our CUP. It's the only tool that I'm aware of that takes saturation into consideration. And it takes it into consideration from the perspective of the land use and not the business person. And so the CUP are land use questions, and so putting 10 restaurant bars in one block might be deemed a burden on that neighborhood. So the CUP is the only tool that I know, and that we've only used the CUP for uses like alcohol, tattoo, and others where there is known that it might negatively impact some neighborhoods. So I can't think of anything other than the CUP for managing density.
Is there a way to use the CUP in this instance?
Not if it's by right.
Not if it's by right.
A lot of what if it's a retail, what you're mentioning, a lot of those enterprises have by right use.
JP, I think some of it, you have to be careful sometimes too with using CUP to restrict a business, but I'll give you an example. Mamie and I, a couple of years ago, found out that Goodwill was wanting to take over the Sam's Club, old Sam's Club at Southern Shopping Center. And we kind of got involved beforehand and just said, no, we couldn't afford, we just have so many thrift shops along Little Creek Road, you remember that maybe, that we're like, it's great. And, they ended up over at Janif, which, was great. They were still looking for it. But we thought that facility would be a better use. And at the time, we actually were thinking about maybe purchasing it from, at the city standpoint, for an indoor sports venue, but it didn't work out. So, but still, at the same time, it just, if you get ahead of it sometimes and you find out and you let them know, it probably wouldn't be any support, they might back away from it.
Maybe if someone's doing a build out without a permit, that's something, that's a tool that Bobby can, so should give him that information.
Well, you're aware that they did the build, matter of fact, you let me know that they were gonna build out without a permit.
Yes, sir. We cited them accordingly.
So we cited them, does that mean they pay money, does that mean they stop, does that mean that they have to consider putting something else there, what does that mean?
We see compliance, so they would just need to apply for a building permit to comply with
So everything is stopped until they apply for that permit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I still don't get that either, is how many people think that it's okay to do construction or tear up dunes, and, are you living under a rock? You don't know, contact the city and ask them,
Mr. Bull?
Move that members of the council assemble and form a meeting on City Hall building in the city of Norfolk. Privileges which are set out in clauses 3 and 8 of subsection A of section 2.2-3711 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act as amended, clause 3. Discussion of the disposition of publicly held real property in Ward 5 Ocean View area, where discussion in open meeting would directly affect the negotiating strategy of the public body. Clause 8, consultation with legal counsel requiring a matter, requiring the advice of such counsel. Mr. Clanton.
Aye.
Mr. Will.
Aye.
Mrs. Johnson. Aye. Mr. McGee. Aye. Mr. Page. Aye. Mr. Smigiel. Mr. Thomas. Dr. Alexander. Number 9, I talked to.